Oh, this is the biggest backpacking pillow I have ever used, and probably the worst backpacking pillow that I've ever used. And this is just one of 5 different pieces of camping and backpacking gear that I'm going to be reviewing in this video. Some things I like, and some things I don't like. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and let's check out some gear. But first, there is a giveaway in this video. So if you guys want to enter to win one of these 5 pieces of gear, just like this video, be subscribed to my channel, and comment down below what you think of these and which one is your favorite. All right. Now let's check out some gear. First up, we have this sleeping bag. This is a 40-degree sleeping bag from Atepa. This is a mummy-shaped sleeping bag, meaning that it tapers down a bit more towards the legs, and there is a hood with a drawstring. There is also a double zipper that runs the entire length of the sleeping bag. As for materials, the outer fabric is made of 15D nylon, the inner is made of 20D nylon, and what's interesting is that the insulation on side of this is actually a blend of 55% down and 45% polyester. It's a blend of synthetic and organic insulation, is that the right word? Which is kind of cool and I think kind of neat because that gives you sort of like the benefits of having lightweight and really warm down, but at a cheaper price point because there's still synthetic materials in there. It's not nearly as expensive as like a full down sleeping bag, but it still compacts down really small and is actually very lightweight. Like the weight of this thing came out to 2 pounds, 1.2 ounces, right? I was so close. The weight of this is 2 pounds, 1.3 ounces. So it's still pretty darn lightweight and compacts down pretty small. Underneath here, you do get a compression sack. One thing that I've noticed with the Atepa gear is they kind of go overkill with their compression sacks and like stuff sacks. This is it compacted inside the stuff sack. And like I said, they go a little overkill. So there's the hood, like the brain of this thing that slips right over top, and then you can clip it on 2 sides, and now if you want, you can really like cinch all this down and make it even more compact, which I guess is nice. But there you go, that compacts down fairly small. Whenever I get budget gear, I'm always a little bit skeptical about budget backpacking gear, but I gotta say the first time that I took this out and got inside of it, I was very surprised and very impressed. And like I said, this sleeping bag is rated for 40 degrees, meaning that you should really only use it when temperatures are between like 40 to 60 degrees, and its extreme rating is all the way down to 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Now what I don't like about this is that all over the Atepa website, and the more I looked, the more I saw it, they were advertising this and claiming that you're gonna be nice and toasty warm all the way down to its extreme rating of 9 degrees Fahrenheit. But there is no way that you're going to be comfortable and warm inside of this all the way down to 9 degrees Fahrenheit because that is cold. It's actually very dangerous to try to use this sleeping bag at those temperatures. So the fact that Atepa is trying to get more sales and misleading people by telling them that this is an all-season sleeping bag is literally putting people's lives at risk. But aside from those claims, I do think that this is a very comfortable, packable, and a good warm weather sleeping bag that I'm going to continue to use through the spring and summer. And as for the price, this is $140, which isn't bad for a budget backpacking sleeping bag. A high quality down sleeping bag is gonna run you probably around $300. So with this Atepa one, you get a blend of synthetic and down materials for a much lower price. The next piece of gear on this list are these trekking poles, and this is actually the giveaway of this video. So if you want to win these trekking poles, just be sure to enter the giveaway. These trekking poles are the Trekology Trek Z trekking poles. They are made out of aluminum with a cork handle, and there's sort of like a double handle, like this top part is cork and this part here is foam. So to set these guys up, you just undo the Velcro here. They just kind of fall apart, and then you can extend this top part down to where it will click in place, and there you go. There's your trekking pole. They are extendable from 110 centimeters up to 130 centimeters. As for the weight of these, each trekking pole individually weighs 9.5 ounces. So not super heavy, but there are lighter ones on the market. And it's aluminum, like you're gonna pay a lot more if you wanna get carbon fiber trekking poles. Oh, they do have hand loops which work just fine. I like to use the hand loops whenever I'm using trekking poles. But if I'm being honest, I really don't know why there's a second foam part here. I don't know if you would really use this part of the handle. I mean, whenever I would use trekking poles, I always just use the topmost part. I don't really see anybody or myself using the foam. But you know, these are your standard folding trekking poles. They're gonna work great. I've used Trekology trekking poles before, and I've always liked using them. I've never had any issues. They're just, you know, they're an Amazon brand of folding trekking poles. They're gonna work. They're not the most amazing thing in the world. They're not the lightest thing in the world, but they're trekking poles. They're gonna do the job. The cost of these is only $44 for both of them, which is not bad at all, and they get my stamp of approval. They would be a solid option for hiking poles, especially considering that if you want to get a lighter weight version of trekking poles, they're gonna cost you almost 4 times what these do. All right, and this next piece of gear here has gained a lot of popularity in the past few years. This right here is the Flextail Zero Pump. This little thing here, which is a little bit bigger than like a tube of lipstick probably, and you're like a really big tube of chapstick, something like that. This is a sleeping pad inflator and deflator. So this little thing fits on the inflation valve of your sleeping pad, and you press this button and it will inflate your pad. You don't need to hold on to it because it just sits in there pretty tight by itself. So while your pad is inflating, you can go get your sleeping bag out or inflate your backpacking pillow. And it works pretty quick, only taking about 1 minute and 25 seconds to inflate my big Agnes sleeping pad. And what's cool is that they give you like a handful, a variety of different nozzles that fit on the end of this. So it fits basically any sleeping pad. On all the sleeping pads that I've tested this on, it's worked for all of them, and I've used it on a good variety. Big Agnes, Sea to Summit, Kilo skier, even my big Nemo Roamer camping sleeping mattress. It's worked on all of them. It does exactly what they say. It inflates your pad, and it is fairly quiet. I know a lot of people are kind of like concerned with noise of these things, but it's a sleeping pad inflator. It's gonna make some noise. It's not gonna wake up the neighbors, but you should be aware, like it's an inflator. They just make noise. Now what really does annoy me is that on the website, Flextail says that this weighs only 1.2 ounces without the battery. So why even tell us that, Flextail? This is literally pointless without the battery. They know that all of us backpackers like to be as light as possible, so they can just fudge the numbers and make this seem like it's super, super lightweight, which it is still lightweight, but if there's no battery, there's no point to this thing, and it's dead weight. So the full weight of this thing with the battery is 1.8 ounces, and you're also going to need one of these little rubber attachment things that come out to about 0.3 ounces each. So all in all, the entire weight of this little pad inflator system here is about 2.1 ounces, which is still not bad at all, especially considering that if you're going to use the pump stack for your sleeping pad, that's probably going to weigh about 2 ounces depending on what you're using. As for the battery life, this does last quite a while. Like, you should get probably a dozen inflations on this depending on how big your sleeping pad is and what the temperature is outside. It's also USB-C rechargeable. So this thing is convenient, it's pretty lightweight, it's small, and I'm gonna continue to use it. As for the price of this thing, it is $48, which is pretty steep. So if you're someone who absolutely hates inflating your sleeping pad with a pump stack every time you're at your campsite, you would probably get some value out of this. But if you don't really mind using a pump stack to inflate your pad, you don't need this, and you can save the $50. All right, number 4. This right here might look pretty small, and it is all packed up, but this is the biggest backpacking pillow that I have ever used. This is another piece of gear from Trekology, and this is the Trekology A-Luft Ultra inflatable pillow. So all packed up inside of the stuff sack with everything, this comes out to a weight of 10.5 ounces, which isn't bad, but there are lighter weight pillows out there. It's also about the size of one of those small Nalgene bottles that you see at REI, like not the regular ones, but one of like the little baby Nalgene bottles. Or also, like, this is maybe a little bit bigger than like a aluminum can. For how big this thing gets, this compacts down very small. And I was really surprised the first time I took it out. I had no idea that it was gonna be that big. That's what she said. When this is inflated, it measures 24 inches long by 16 inches wide and 5 inches thick. So this is big. Like, it's probably about the size of the pillow that you would use at your house on your bed at home. So it does have a soft side. This blue side here is sort of like brushed fabric. I think that's the right word. And there is a removable strap, which I appreciate because I really don't understand why people are strapping pillows to their sleeping pad. I don't get it. You don't strap your pillow to your bed at home, so why would you do it while you're backpacking? I don't get it. And there is a fine-tune valve to let you change the firmness of the pillow. So when I use this, in all honesty, it was probably the worst backpacking pillow I've ever used. I do use an inflatable pillow when I'm backpacking, but with this one, no matter how much I like deflated it and changed the amount of air on the inside or positioned it or moved around my sleeping pad, I just could not get my head or neck comfortable on this thing. I don't know if it's because it's so big or the fact that it does compact down so small, there's like no cushioning with it, but I don't know. No matter what, did not sleep well with this pillow. As for the price of this, it comes out to only $25, which is not bad at all. And if you're someone who does like using inflatable pillows, this one might be a good option for you, especially considering how big it is. It just didn't work for me. Oh, another thing too, when I was using this with the fine-tune valve, while I was using the fine-tune valve, it actually popped out and went inside the pillow. So I had to like reinflate it and shake the little fine-tune valve rubber piece out of the pillow. So I don't know. You know, Trekology is like an Amazon brand of backpacking gear. They do make some pretty decent budget stuff, but there's some things you can tell where the price definitely reflects the quality of the equipment. Last on our list is one that you guys have already seen a ton because I wear it in a load of my YouTube videos. This is the Qualitree Baseline Mid-Layer. I've actually had this for a long time, like 2 years, and haven't even thought to review it until today. So this is a full zip hoodie sort of sweatshirt base layer that actually has a honeycomb sort of fabric. This is very comfortable to wear, it's warm, and it's extremely durable, like surprisingly durable. I didn't realize it until I was writing this video, but I've used this for 2 years quite often and it's still going strong. This is a fleece that's actually made with 3 cups of coffee grounds. I don't really know how they do that, but they say coffee particles are embedded into the materials, making this naturally odor resistant. And no, it does not smell like coffee grounds, but I can agree that this thing does resist odor. This is DWR coated, so it kind of repels water. It's not waterproof, but water droplets kind of bead off of it. There are 2 stomach pockets and 1 chest pocket, and I gotta say the stomach pockets kind of annoy me sometimes because they just feel like they're a little bit too far to the sides of your body, but all of them have zippers which work very well. I've never had any issues with any zippers on this sweatshirt. There are also thumb holes on this base layer as well. As for warmth, this thing has been great. Obviously, you're not gonna wear it in like super cold temperatures because it's basically a sweatshirt. But it's nice to throw on when you get to your campsite or if you're going for a hike in the spring or the fall. As for weight, this comes out to 14 ounces, so it's pretty lightweight and does compact down pretty small. So as for the price tag of this, it is $109, which is definitely a good amount of money, but considering that this is super durable and has lasted me 2 years so far without a scratch, means that you're gonna get your money's worth out of this and should have this for several years. So this is one that definitely gets my approval because it's warm, comfortable, packable, it's very durable, and I'm going to continue to use it. So there you have it, everyone. That was 5 different pieces of camping and backpacking different products. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. And if you want to help support my channel, consider becoming a member on Patreon, where you'll get access to a bunch of behind the scenes content, and be sure to enter the giveaway. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in my next video.